Welcome back, students. So in today's video we are going to learn some technical terms that are related with the measurement of pressure. So generally pressure on a fluid is measured in two different systems. In the first system it is measured with reference to absolute zero pressure, and while in the second system it is measured with the help of a pressure measuring instrument, and in that atmospheric pressure is taken as a reference. Okay, so here we will see the three technical terms. The first one is absolute pressure. So this absolute pressure is measured with respect to absolute zero pressure, or with reference to absolute zero pressure. This absolute zero pressure is also known as vacuum pressure. Okay, so here if you can see in this diagram, this is the absolute zero pressure, and this absolute pressure is measured with reference with respect to this absolute zero pressure. Now what is gauge pressure? So gauge pressure is measured with some pressure measuring instruments and atmospheric pressure is taken as datum. Okay, so if you can see in this figure, this atmospheric pressure is taken as datum, or it is taken as reference with respect to which this gauge pressure is measured, and this gauge pressure is positive pressure. Let me give you one example, that if this is suppose your pipeline, and if you have seen that with in the real field conditions, these pipelines are provided with such kind of pressure measuring devices which are known as gauge pressures. Okay, so here in this kind of devices, the scale which is marked at 0, at there the pressure which is taken as atmospheric pressure. So if your fluid is moving in the pipe, then it will measure a pressure which will be positive pressure, and it will be above the atmospheric pressure, and that pressure is known as gauge pressure. Okay, and the third pressure is the vacuum pressure, which is measured below the atmospheric pressure, So vacuum pressure is generally negative pressure, and as you can see in this figure, this vacuum pressure is measured below this atmospheric pressure. So mathematically, if we want to derive the relationship between these three terms, then we can see from this diagram that absolute pressure will be the summation of atmospheric pressure and gauge pressure. So this absolute pressure will be the summation of this atmospheric pressure and gauge pressure, while vacuum pressure will be the difference of atmospheric pressure minus absolute pressure. One more thing I want to mention over here, that if we want to measure the atmospheric pressure head, then it is measured in terms of 760 mm of Hg or 10.33 meter of H2O. Thank you.